Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer, where the vampire counts are, in my opinion, getting a little too big for their britches. We're going to have, probably, a pretty bad time here. We're going to do our best to kill as many of these monsters and stuff as we can as they approach the walls. And then, Baron von Karlsbruck, by himself, would not be a huge issue, but there's another vampire counts army shortly behind him, which makes me think that we might have to resort to something a little bit more drastic than simply running Peggy Rains over here. She might be a little bit in over her head on this one. We might have to give her a backup army of hastily raised units. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I have, in the past, been surprised by our ability to hold against what looked like very superior forces, because the AI is not great at sieging. So they've been here for a little while. They've probably built a bunch of siege towers. They might have a battering ram, they might not. I will say that they brought a lot of monsters, but several, which are usually bad in siege. But many of their monsters are flying, which is going to make them pretty okay at taking the walls from us. So, let's just try to make sure... Okay, do not want deckhand mob here. We're going to actually make sure that the walls are set up in a sensible fashion. Okay, so we have gunners all along the front of the walls. I have 4 units of guns. One of them is like way deep inside. Okay. I want all 4 of my units of guns actually up here. In fact, we're probably better off if this unit of gunners is there, and these guys are the ones manning this tower. And with that, we actually have all the towers covered. We actually have all the guns facing forward. We might get torn up pretty bad here. That's probably going to happen. I'm thinking... Actually, let's pull down the deckhand mobs and replace them with the polearm depth guard, because I think the biggest threat to us here on the walls, at least the biggest immediate threat to us on the walls, is those terrorgeists landing up there and just tearing my rifles apart, right? So I'm going to set up some polearms on the inside of each part of the wall. We still have the interior of the gates pretty well protected. And it is, of course, worth noting that we do have 2 corpses. 2 explodey boys. So where's the other one? Just try to keep them kind of near the gates, but not directly in front of the gates. We have a unit of deck droppers that is probably going to want to be close to the wall, but not directly in front of it. We cannot fly out safely until the terrorgeists are handled. And this unit of mortars needs to actually do something. If I put him here, give him a much better firing arc. Not a great idea to leave the city center completely empty, because if we leave it completely empty, then they can just terrorgeist over and take it. In fact, I'm going to put these depth guard... No, they don't have to run that far, and depth guard actually run like at a normal human movement speed. Yeah, this is fine. Alright, let's figure out targeting. Sorry, let's let the towers actually come under our control, because apparently we had never thought to grab control of our towers until this moment, despite the fact that we've been in this settlement forever. I can't help but notice that these towers are not controlled yet. In fact, this is the only one. There we go. Weird. Let's figure out our initial targeting. The mortars definitely need to focus on strong-looking units of melee troops. Not that concerned about the Graveguard with the battering ram, am I? Am I afraid of them breaking open the gate? My real concern is them coming over the wall. I guess I'm just going to be shooting at a unit of Graveguards somewhere, though. It may as well be these ones. And then over here, we might be able to break one of these towers if we focus both of my towers on it immediately. And actually, it should probably be this one, because this is the one that will be in both towers' range for long enough. And you should just shoot at something large. Actually, towers usually do pretty okay damage against monsters. Alright, now that we've got targets for all of the long-range stuff locked in, never mind. No, we don't. This fort tower... There's no stats for the tower gun, as far as I know. Like, you can't get a panel on it. But I think they're good against large. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, I have no idea where I got that idea. I don't know, shoot at the Graveguard. The thing is, I have a strong suspicion that the Blood Knights will not be meaningful at any point during this fight. I don't think they're going to get through our gate. I think they're going to, when they beat us, if they beat us, they're going to do it by going over the wall, not by going through the gate. You can see we're desperately trying to destroy the siege tower. If we got them down to one siege tower, it would make things a lot more manageable. And yeah, actually, that's doing noticeable damage to the Terrorgeist. It's not going to kill the thing by itself, but that seems meaningful. I'm going to move these guys over. I think they're going to be needed over here. Okay, the mortars have nice, clean lines of fire. Yeah, I think we're going to see ladders up here rather than people going through the gate. We're actually doing really good work. We might get this tower down. It would be nice if we kept them to only one place where they can get up the wall easily. Can I get you guys up here? Oh, come on, come on. One more volley, one more volley. No, one more volley was not enough. A lot of those shots missed. It's got so little health left. It's at 94% damage. Oh, that sucks. And you can see the rifle ammo's not doing any damage at all. Oh, that sucks. You know what? Let's get the depth guard up here. They're going to be necessary. Actually, I'm going to order these guys back to here and order the depth guard up to there. See if we can get up there by the time they actually climb the ladders, because it does take them a minute. We've done some good damage to the battering ram, not enough to actually drive off the unit running it, unfortunately. Okay, and here they come proper with the Terrorgeists now. I would love it if we could shoot at those Terrorgeists with our rifles, please. I'm so disappointed about this. I'm very frustrated. Alright, well, this seems like an okay time for this. Alright, disengage the rifles so that we can get the melee troops in here at least a little bit. I mean, we've done some good damage. Can you guys turn around and shoot at all? Probably not. Can you guys shoot the Terrorgeists, maybe? That'd be cool. Yeah, this is the real problem here. These Terrorgeists are gonna tear me to pieces. We've done some decent damage here, though. Yeah, it's not been amazing, but we've done some damage. So I don't know that I have a way of really dealing with the Terrorgeists. If these guys can cut through these Graveguard quickly enough, we can maybe turn them around. But the good news is, it might take the Terrorgeists a really long time to kill us, because it seems to take a lot of things a really long time to kill us. Actually, I'm going to commit the bats on this right now. Okay, they are going to go through the gate, it looks like. I'm going to put our man right up here. The way this is unfolding, I think it is going to be the case that I just want him to charge into the breach the moment it is available to do so. And they're not even trying to get through the gate on this side. These guys are pretty grouped up right now. Oh, this is going to be good. It's just completely obliterated. Alright, so how are we doing this? You guys... That guy's not going to get over here in time. Probably what we want to do is just clog the door, right? Just don't let him through. We're not going to kill him, but just don't let him through. We're actually doing okay damage to that one. Yeah, we're not going to win this. We're not going to win this, but we can do a lot of damage. Bloat man over here will get in position, and then he'll blow up on whatever's left of these dudes. They have their real monsters coming through now. That's a shame. Well, it'll make our lives a lot easier if we can get rid of a couple of these Terrorgeists before this army goes on to fight anybody else. The mortar probably shouldn't be firing directly into my guys when it does have other things it could be firing at. Like, we could back it up and have it start shooting at people on the wall. Alright, skeleton warriors are getting through. That's not really a big threat. Yeah, I think I'm gonna... These guys did some good work on the approach, but it's time to back off. Then we can rain fire on the cairn wraiths on the walls or something. Oof, these terrorgeists are... These are a good counter to us in this situation, because this army has so few rifles comparatively, compared to the armies we usually run. Why don't you get over here? This is the side I'm going to need you to approach from. Honestly, though, he's probably not going to do much of value, because he's just going to blow up on some monsters. Like, their non-monster units are pretty much dead anyway. I can blow up on some horses, at least. Okay, we did actually manage to straight up kill one of the, We did manage to straight up kill one of the terrorgeists on this side. Let's get this guy over here and start shooting at this terrorgeist. Maybe him and the Death Guard together could handle it. And actually, did we kill another one? We totally did. Alright, two other terrorgeists are down. This has been a very successful defense. Looks like my guys here are still technically alive, but they're shattering quickly. I'm gonna have Blodo here on immediate response duty. Yeah, we've done some really good damage here, but I think they are going to end up with control of my settlement. Wipe those dudes out, though. And honestly, we managed to do a lot of damage with the wall towers. Is there any chance I could just pull people down off the wall? Like, can we just get these guys to retreat? What if I told them to go back here? Alright, you start hammering those guys. No, never mind. Start hammering these guys. That is a dense formation of enemies. We could probably get some real harm done there. Okay, we're tearing up this terrorgeist pretty badly. He wants to give up, it looks like. I'll tell you what, if we end this battle by losing the settlement while killing all four of their terrorgeists, that would be a fantastic outcome. I'm really worried that this one Blood Knight is going to get over here and charge my artillery, because he's been crumbling forever, but he's definitely not actually dying. Alright, so that guy's crumbling. I'm gonna grab our polearm dudes and turn them around. I think the normal depth guard plus the gunfire from the skies is gonna be good enough here. Alright, so this is a mortis engine. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool unit. That said, I don't think they're actually very good. I haven't used them extensively or anything. I might be wrong about that, but my impression of those is that they're kind of crummy. They're like an expensive and very elite unit that's like fine at best. Not really worth its cost. Right, you get over here and help with that. You've been sitting here for a reason. Okay, we have in fact killed all of their terrorgeists. That's fantastic. And these monsters are still fighting our bad troops over here, so if we can get down here and eliminate these monsters too, they're not going to have much at all to defend this settlement with. Peggy Rains may well be able to handle this. A lot of it comes down to whether or not we manage to... You guys having trouble getting off the wall? They actually are, like, really having trouble getting off the wall. Can we please... Is that going to work? Okay, there we go. They're getting down. They're getting down. Yeah, Peggy Rain's ability to hold Ulthuan depends somewhat on her ability to get over to this settlement before the second pirate ship, or the second vampire ship shows up, though. We'll have to figure that out. Alright, so we just had our deckhands stop existing. Make sure that everybody's focused on the same Vargulf. I think there's a chance we get rid of the Vargulfs, or at least one of them. So we're about to lose our mortars, but they've done a lot of good damage here. I guess run. I don't think they're going to get away. But yeah, we've broken the mortis engine. We've done a lot of good damage. Alright, let's see if we can get over here and distract their guys enough to get our mortar crew back to the center. Because if we could get the mortar crew back to the center and get it firing again, that would really put a dent in their ability to approach us. I was thinking the mortars weren't going to be super relevant because we were going to get monstered real bad, but we're actually beating the monsters.
Get me close.
Quickly, quickly. I don't think we're going to get there in time. You guys head for the grave guard. Yeah, the mortars are going to get killed. That's a shame. The bats, I mean, just keep harassing the Vargulf, I guess. They're going to have to actually descend on enemy units now, because they've run out of bullets. Oh, some of the mortars might escape. Now that my lord is here to distract them. Quickly. Actually, can I get these deck droppers out of here? Because I would love it if I could get them to participate in this other battle.
Storm them!
If you guys could fly around to here and help out with this, that would be great. And now the mortars collapsed. That's a shame. That would have been really, really good. So what do they have left? What's their stack look like? Graveguard with great weapons, Graveguard, Graveguard, Graveguard. So a lot of pretty effective, a lot of pretty elite melee types. And the Graveguard that don't have great weapons have shields. So it's important to remember that shielded enemies are actually pretty good against all the rifle fire. I think we're not going to get their Lord, but yeah, we reduced a lot of their cool units out of the army. And the shield thing aside, generally speaking, elite melee units are not a good counter to the gun line. And that's just like real-world history talking there. Alright, I think at this point we can probably fast forward through the rest of us. The rest of this. This is just going to be my troops slowly getting picked apart. But we're going to stay in here and do as much damage as we possibly can. Death Guard are actually pretty good fighters. I think I discounted them too much too early because we had a bunch of them die. And they're a little bit fragile. They're not good like melee to melee fighters necessarily. Although, you know, here we had some units of Depth Guard hold their own against the wall attackers. And some of those wall attackers were Grave Guard, which are relatively elite units. I think Grave Guard are tier 3 infantry. The great weapon ones might be tier 4. The Depth Guard come from tier 4 building, I think. So, yeah, they can hold their own against troops around their level, I guess. So we completely wiped out all their cool stuff, also those skeletons. Left them with 3 units of normal Graveguard, 2 units of great weapons, and 2 units of Cairn Wraiths, which are ethereal, and thus difficult to kill with a rifle. Not impossible. You put enough bullets into anything, it'll stop moving, even if it doesn't have physical form, apparently. Alright, let's, come on now. Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll decide to just sack the settlement. Sometimes they do that, inexplicably. We might have to end up with 2 armies holding Ulthuan, one in the north and one in the south, just because of the fact that there's no gate in the eastern mountain wall, which means that, like, if somebody approaches Lothern and somebody approaches Misnar at the same time, we can't defend them both with just one. Is he getting in the water? Oh, maybe not. Okay. Maybe I was misunderstanding Manfred's approach here. Maybe he's just going to fight. And he's not at war with Bretonnia. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. But him not getting in the water is nice. That means that even if he is planning to come to reinforce them, it's going to take him a while to get here. Oh, they have a hero coming to dispatch my hero. How dare I dig for treasure on this island that they stole? Somewhere, the Warriors of Chaos are still, presumably, murdering dwarves? It's an awful lot of dwarf-colored territory over here. Oh, right, we still have to deal with these idiots, too. Totally forgot about the Redhorn tribe. Well, You know, I can't help but notice that these troops are all extremely not good. I think we might be able to legitimately win this. Our pistol gunnery mobs should be very effective here, because none of these units are armored at all. Shields are only effective from the front, I believe. I think it's like each unit is holding the shield in one arm, obviously. So shields are like, they're effective from the front and from the side the shield is on, and less effective from the other side and not effective at all from the back. So we definitely put a lot of pistol bullets into these guys. I will say this terrain favors them tremendously. I do not like fighting in the forest. Alright, I hit start. I'm so used to hitting, to dismissing the option to gamble Winds of Magic that I just hit start battle right away. Alright, well, everybody back up. Sorry, not everybody. You do the other thing. Go forward. Let's hope that we can hit a nice, dense group of them. It should be possible. Beastmen have a tendency to group up. So, what we're going to want to do here, probably, is, like, intersperse the pistols with the rifles. Somewhere around, like, here, where we have a nice open angle on them. Then you guys can all just do this. Oh my god. This has so much potential. Yeah, they kind of... Their spread out melee units got to us before I could get to their range. That's a real shame. We want to keep our bats in reserve until we have their archers under control a little bit. But as soon as that happens, we are going to be in great position. And obviously, if we lose this settlement, it does not matter at all. It's just one more thing we're going to have to fix before we can finish up down here and head north with Silostra. Yeah, I'm pretty bummed out about that that outcome there on the exploding corpse. You know, actually, we could probably use the bats to discourage pursuit. They're considerably faster than we are. They're a pretty fast army on the whole. Bats over here. I'm gonna have our melee turn around, maybe? I don't really want to engage them by the trees, though. We need to draw them a little further back. And if we have our melee turn around and engage them now, we're going to find it very difficult to shoot through. But also, we got to do something, right? I can't let them just run up into the backs of the ranged units. So I want to be careful about the archers. Definitely want to be shooting from behind. But I don't want to be shooting at the archers because they'll just turn and kill us. But we can definitely like shoot into the backs of these guys. Okay. Bad news is they are too numerous for my melee to catch them all. The good news is nothing. That's just real bad. That's just bad for us. We are going to get to do quite a lot of damage, though. Yeah, well, you may as well stand and fight. Get out of the way so that these guys have a clean shot. Seems like an okay time for a sea shanty. Definitely want to shoot those guys. Okay. We're actually making pretty short work of these dudes, even though they are in melee engaged with our ranged. I want to just collapse as much of their melee as we can, as quickly as we can. They do not have great leadership, and the stats of these Ungor herds are very, very bad. I don't know if we can win the battle, because we really are outnumbered by quite a bit, but I think we can do some real damage. see the bats are already starting to absorb ranged fire. But you know what? It's not doing a lot of damage, though. And we're drawing off their attention. Maybe that's actually fine. Alright, these guys are going to break any second now. I'd love it if those guys could show us a skull, maybe. I think you probably have a clean shot here. Yeah, as it stands right now, I'm a little nervous about them just turning around and coming back immediately. Yeah, almost immediately. Okay, those guys will break soon. I'm gonna actually just let the bats keep getting shot, because it's serving our purposes quite well. Get these guys up to here so that we can start collapsing in on them from the side. This unit's just about dead. I'm gonna see if I can disengage them entirely. Try to fire in on their lord. They probably will not react well if they lose their lord. Rifles on their lord. Handguns on the other dudes, maybe? I was wondering where that other unit went. It's right here. It's just very stealthy. Well, finish them off. Try to get my guys out of the way over here. Alright, still not a permanent break. Yeah, most people don't like getting shot in the back very much. These guys seem to be fine with it. In fact, they find it preferable to being shot in the front. Alright, we don't have time to stay focused on them all day. Let's pay attention over here. So we got a break there. Our terrible melee units are just winning melee fights over here, which is very silly. Yeah, I guess let's just go after the archers. Their archers can't fire while moving, so this is, if we can get them on the run, I think that's pretty good for us. I'm gonna have this gunnery mob try to go after those raiders, and maybe get rid of their ranged troops now. You can maybe back off a little bit. I'm gonna lose my lord. Yeah, this is the part of the battle that is going the worst for us, definitely. It's just a huge number of them. Move up. Definitely obstructing fire here. Keep disengaging. Keep disengaging, keep giving us room to shoot at enemies behind you. Man, this guy is, it is impossible to deal the last little bit of damage to him. How's this going? Not well. Yeah, we're doing remarkably little damage to their gunners. I think we are going to lose. It's good damage, though, and they're going to have a hard time replenishing. Oh, please just actually kill him. He's so close to dead. Running is good. Dead is better. Come on. Yes. Alright, well, that'll do some morale damage. Yeah, you can see a bunch of their units threatening to break now. It also helps that my units almost all cause... all of our units cause fear, and many of them cause terror. I don't think the ones that are in this battle are the terror causers. But that does have a... Fighting against units that cause fear and or terror has a significant long-term effect on unit morale. Okay, we had a nice little depression bubble happen there in the middle. You see one unit breaking, and it causes the units around it to panic. Okay, so at this moment, the archers are actually the thing that's holding their army together. Because remember, if all of their units are retreating at once, we instantly win. Usually that happens by their army morale breaking, but it can be the case that you just get each individual unit to panic at the same moment. Okay, can you please permanently break? Killing me over here. Have those guys continue to pursue, I guess. part of the value of getting units permanently broken is that they're no longer on the field to unbreak and thus hold the army together. As you see, you can see they're all coming back now. As soon as these guys retreat, we're gonna... The bats need to focus on... I guess the bats could come over here and fight these guys. Have these units fall back away from the trees. If we have any chance of still winning this battle, it is getting them to come out in the open. Okay, I don't know why, like, these units are just sitting here crumbling. Don't crumble. We're winning. Get out of the melee part of the battle. Right, the bats are falling apart, that's fine. I kind of left them to do that. Good break there. Good break on these guys. Need you to shoot him. We're close. We're so close. Come on. And part of the problem over here is that I can't get these pistols to actually disengage. They're too stuck on the enemies. If we could get them to pull back enough to actually be able to fire instead of having to engage in melee, this would basically be over. Alright, those guys. Come on, come on. We're starting to actually run out of ammunition. That's a problem I hadn't really considered. Some of our units don't have any bullets left. Okay, I think this might literally be the only unit they have right now that isn't fleeing. Nope, never mind. Never mind, they have a ton of stuff that was invisible. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna lose then. We were right on the edge of winning when we didn't think they had these 4 units. I forgot how stealthy they are. Well, the good news is their army is extremely torn up now. The bad news is everything else about what is happening right now. Just you wait until it's my turn, over half an hour into this video of the game that I'm playing. Then you'll see what's up. No sense in doing a disengage here because we don't have anybody to cover fire. So let's just get through with it. I feel like this is the way that Phase 3 of our great plan has gone. This is sort of characteristic of it. A handful of really big wins, followed by a string of small losses that don't threaten anything, but just mean a little bit of annoying busy work for us as we get on to the next arena. That unit of pistols had 243 kills. Man, it's hard to imagine them even having enough bullets for that. I guess some of those kills were probably with the swords. Yeah, you know what? Some of the gun units were engaged in melee for an awfully long time. Alright, so they raised the temple. That's not a big deal. Are we at war with... We are not at war with those guys. We're at war with a bunch of the rogue armies, but not those ones. Alright, bunch of stuff happened that we don't care about. Okay. Let's start flipping through our lords here. So, it is probably the case that we don't have to fight these minor factions, but it's convenient to do it now. We can sweep through and clear them out. And, like, I don't want them around if they don't have to be around, because I don't want them to suddenly wake up and decide they actually want to do a thing. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, well, I guess we'll kill those guys next turn. Peggy can make it to...
Wither first.
Oh, really? Okay. So the vampire counts have this mechanic called the Dead Rise Again, where at the end of a battle, each one of their units that died during the battle has a chance to just come back to life at like a quarter health or something. I thought it was more like a quarter health. Apparently, they haven't had any replenishment yet, remember, because this is the first turn they've been in there. So apparently it's more like 60% health. But it looks like they got everything back. Everything that we killed during their turn. That's extremely frustrating. That is some real bullshit. Alright, well, we're definitely going to have to raise a secondary army in Koruali then. Hey, Will Amstrel, you're back on the team.
Bones on deck. All bones on deck.
And we can't really recruit too much here. I guess we can get rifles. Do I even I don't think I even want these guys. I don't think they're worth the money we'd have to pay for them in upkeep.
Landfolk are weak.
We have a good raised dead pool here, right? No, we do not. I guess we're too far away from that stuff, even though we are in that province, aren't we? Yes, we totally are. Well, that's annoying. We don't have a good raised dead pool in this province, but once we get across the border here, we can draw from that one. Although we're already drawing from that one, aren't we? With the other army. Alright.
Sail the world.
Do we have recruitment buildings here? Some. Alright, we do need to get this up to tier 4 so that we can summon crab gunners. But, obviously, that's not a right now problem. Boy, this army's just gonna have no melee? Oh, no, the raised dead pool here is good for some reason. I guess maybe we're close enough to all those battle markers? Well, we don't want to raise dead right now, do we? Oh, yeah, I don't want to pay their upkeep costs. Okay, so this is... we have a plan, at least. Oh, Bones McDonald, what do you got? Let's see, we have these guys that should probably get dealt with, but that's not like a super high priority.
Admiral
Probably Catherine Greer can pick them off as she comes up. She can just take a more circuitous route.
Admiral of the fleet.
We could... let's see. We took Itza from What's-His-Face already. I suppose what we want to do here is head over toward the Awakening. Or toward the Blood Swamps to resettle them. I guess we don't need the Blood Swamps right now. Doesn't really help us to get them. Alright, so his army's going to be full pretty soon. He had a hero killed out of it, right? That's why we're missing a unit? Yeah, we lost a Gunnery White, that's right. Okay, yeah, I guess we just head over in this direction. I'll stop on my side of the line, just to make sure that we are getting the good replenishment. And then we'll recruit... this army's actually a little bit light on gunners. Can I pull crab gunners with this army? I cannot. Alright, we'll just get another unit of rifles. We have enough melee here. Weird. How did his army get so much melee in it? What was I thinking? Pretty much same deal over here. So I don't know if there's an army at the Awakening. Empire Coast is showing us not having a lot of strength. So I'm not sure how safe it is to approach, like what the appropriate approach angle is or anything. We could just go grab this shipwreck. Yeah, I'm going to grab this shipwreck and we're going to get Vision of the Awakening. Okay, so they do have a full stack there. Led by Luther Harkin. I'm going to take a miserly hoard of treasure here because we don't... I don't want to fight a great foe, or fight a foe in battle, and then get all wounded, and then get murdered by Luther Harkin.
Who are you?
So his army is very monster heavy. Seven cards of monsters. Almost no guns. They do have 2 units of mortars, which could be a problem.
What is your demand?
So I could... yeah, it sucks that we don't know what his movement range is. I don't know if it's safe to land down here or not.
Let us raid.
How gonna go for it. I think. It would be a shame for Cat Rogers to die now. No, I'm gonna go far back. Far back to a place that I know is safe. She's so close to immortality. Well, we know what we're up against over here, at least. Isabella Anderoft is just resettling places. I don't really want to spend a lot of gold right now because we need it for Raise Dead next turn, but we should definitely at least rebuild the settlement building.
All bones on deck.
Pete doesn't really want to...
No, need my warp tokens.
I don't have a hero anywhere around here to check out this army, do I?
The council is disappointed.
It would be nice if I knew how much health those guys had. If this is a torn-up army, then we can just go to Sildrator right now and make something happen.
Standing by.
We gotta get proper garrison buildings up in the Fallen Gates anyway.
Let us evade.
Alright, he is gonna do one more recruitment. What do we want? I think I just want another unit of rifles here. I think we have enough melee.
At last, we will feast.
Alright, so we don't have a ton of money to work
Way
with.
of the waves.
Catherine Greer is probably best off just... Well, we don't have to stay put. I can move a little bit. Let's do a normal move in this direction.
I thirst.
And at the end of the move, we'll go into encampment mode and we'll hire a unit of crab gunners. It doesn't leave us with a huge amount of money for next turn's Raise Dead, I guess.
Gold.
Whatever, we'll figure it out.
On deck.
Oh yeah, Viola gets to... Did we dig this treasure up already? I don't remember. Here we go. This is the thing I want. No, I did not actually find the treasure.
Salute your betters.
What are the odds we can wound this guy? Pretty high. We can go wound him and then try to find the treasure? Or at least try to wound him?
I hunger. Fear me.
Oh, she's not allowed to dig for treasure after throwing out a wound attempt. That's fine. She can get it next turn. It will be just as effective for us. Get a whole bunch of points of Vangeist's Revenge. Because next turn is when we need it. And yeah, that's good. Okay. Oh, we have damaged buildings. Well, I don't have the time to fix it. We don't have the money to fix it. Alright. Let us see what new horrors await us during this enemy turn cycle. I gotta say, I don't know what the correct way to use Black Arcs is, but I know that this particular Dark Elf AI is making them not look very good. Mr. Harkin is on the move, is he? Oh, really? Huh. I'm surprised by that. I'm surprised he could reach us. Well, he's just ceded the Awakening to O'Bones McDonald, so that's good for us. Are we going to be able to win this? Probably not. I mean, I have guns. I sure have guns. You know what? Maybe. We certainly have to try. Although, frankly, it looks like I could have hit auto-resolve there and just had it turn out in our favor. Yeah, they got so many... They have so many long-range weapons here. Oh my god, and it's letting them set up entirely in a forest. It's like, what is the best terrain for an army that is fighting against an army that's made entirely of rifles? We're fighting in the sea! Where is this forest? I should have just taken the auto-resolve. I did not understand the degree to which I was going to get completely screwed. Well... Why do you have Vanguard deployment? I don't know if that's the thing I would ever want to Vanguard deploy. What do we do? If I start anywhere that they can see us... The mortars have more range than Gallows Giants, or than Necrofex Colossi, or less? We don't have a normal Necrofex Colossus, so I can't check. Alright, I'm going to try this. We're going to try setting up behind our mortars. Like a full gun line right here. That is not entirely ideal. We need to be a little bit further forward because, man, this terrain is absolute bullshit. Rolling hills and heavy trees. Yeah, I think this is okay. We probably want to roll the mortars even a little bit more forward. My concern here is that they might actually... No, they probably will not be able to start in range of us. Have these crabs over here where the enemy won't know that they're there as they approach us. And I guess we have to do the same thing with all of our melee. Because any melee that are visible from the beginning will just get torn apart. You can stand back here and still buff those guys. You are probably also hiding. Alright, let's see what they do here. I'm not at all certain whether they're going to be able to outrange us with their Necrofex Colossi, because they are direct fire weapons. But I don't know if they actually have the range. Okay, so these guys have 330 range against our 380. Okay, so they can't just stand back. They do have to come and fight us. Handgun deck droppers, rough. Okay, well, that's a good start. What's the range on a handgun? 160. Alright, so they're getting in Necrofex Colossus firing range. And that's going to mean that we probably have to start moving forward soon. Right, like... Once they can fire at us with their spiteful shot, we need to move our guns forward, because we can probably kill Necrofex Colossi with the rifle line, but we have to get the rifle line in range, which means a lot of running. While we're executing all that running, they're moving routing Leviathans up to us. So no, if we move forward, we just die. Yeah, I have to just endure all of the cannon fire. Because if we move forward, they'll just kill us in the field. I don't have enough things that I can do about an incoming giant crab monster. I guess we could move up a little bit. Maybe to here. Because they already have targets, right? It's not like we're preventing them from firing. So we can move up some. We want to move as much as we can until the instant we have firing range on the monsters, and then we want to stop and shoot. So actually, really what we want to do here is just like that. I don't even want to issue this as a move order. We just go forth and shoot them. We should probably specifically focus our mortars on the units that we are afraid of. These bombers have already taken a little bit of a beating. And are we ready to reveal our side force yet? I'm a little bit worried about the handgun deck droppers. Those are going to be kind of a problem. Their positioning is very frustrating for us, because as soon as we move our melee up, all of a sudden they're being shot. These guys I'm not so worried about. Hand cannons don't have a lot of armor piercing, and our melee is all very heavily armored, so we can just charge them. They're keeping their rotting Leviathans in reserve. I'm not 100% clear on why. Probably to avoid me charging their artillery with like whatever I might have. I think we have to roll up the crabs at least. We have to threaten these handgunners. Come on, guys. Up there and do a murder. See. Okay, cannon fire. I can't believe he had enough movement range to actually attack our army. Kind of crazy. You know what? You just keep moving forward, actually. You don't need to stop. Alright, so the Necrofex Colossus is not dying as fast as I would like. The Gunnery Mob, on the other hand, is going down fast. Alright, we need to get in here and start throwing out soul leeches, or spirit leeches. These do good damage against single large targets. I think we're going to lose this battle, to be clear, but I do not think that we are in any danger from his army afterward. The garrison of our settlement is strong enough that whatever we've left behind here will not be a threat to it. But yeah, man, I did not expect him to have the movement necessary to chase us all the way around the side of the island like that. That really sucks.
Fleet, Admiral!
Well, our gunnery mobs are suddenly just getting shredded. We could give these guys the ability to cause terror. That'll be effective against some of these units. Anything that causes terror is also immune to terror, unfortunately. And this might be a good time for you to activate your sword, because it looks like you're about to engage in some melee combat. And honestly, I kind of think that I'm just going to send all the units of melee after those mortars. And I'm going to send my own mortar fire, definitely, in on those guys. And yeah, we're getting torn apart over here by all the mortar fire, unfortunately. We can try to form a better line. This is gonna hurt, though. I think this army is pretty not good at fighting most enemies, but it's a pretty good composition for fighting Vampire Coast. Definitely not the way I would choose to build an army. Okay, and they're just going to sacrifice their guys on our depth guard, rather than let me get over to their artillery. I was hoping that they were going to try to save the, gunners. Reload him, I guess. Yeah, this is not good. Okay, we're getting some pretty good damage across. But yeah, they're able to just walk so many Necrofex Colossi into us that anything we focus on will just immediately be supplemented from behind by a different huge monster from their army. It turns out you totally can beat us with huge monsters, you just have to bring enough of them. So that's another Necrofex Colossus down. Actually pretty good in Vampire Coast versus Vampire Coast matchups, because of the fact that they deposit a deckhand mob on top of you when they're done fighting you. You guys should definitely be shooting him. You're hardest to disengage, but it seems to me like it's probably not going to work. Yeah, we're doing some damage here, but man, they have really, they have survived this battle.
Enemies wail! Arise, my dominion!
She was so close to level 20. Well, the good news here is that we're going to get a lot more money at the beginning of our turn than we thought we were, because we lost an army. And so we're no longer paying that upkeep. Yeah. Try to knock some of these guys out. I'm less worried about the crabs for the future. Just trying to do the damage that we can do here in terms of making this army weak enough to kill with our other armies in the very near future. There's some explosives. Okay, that kind of did damage. Just keep you buffed forever. frustrating thing is, like, we know that if we had aimed our mortars at their mortars, it wouldn't have worked, because I've tried to kill siege crews with our mortars before. They do not have the accuracy necessary. Alright, do what damage you can to it, I suppose.
Fleet Admiral! Eager to kill! Pistols loaded!
I said, hey, cast. Cast on him quickly before you die. There we go. A little bit more damage. Alright. We just need to get through this frustrating part where we're repositioning everybody until we can have our units, or our armies in the same place so that we don't have to fight with stacks that are not actually combat ready. Absolutely crazy, though, that he was able to sail out that far and still have attack range. I'm not 100% certain that O'Bones MacDonald will have range to the Awakening, but if we do get it, if we can reach it on our turn, then Luther Harkin's completely screwed, because he has no other settlements down here. He has no friendly territory in which to replenish. No, we're not going to be able to make it. That's a long run. He's able to almost make it back. Okay. Well, his movement range, this was less than a turn of movement, and then he went into march mode, obviously, and made it back around. That's pretty wild. Are our exiled friends actually gonna... Yes, they are. Awesome. Actually resettling their territory. I love that. Oh, also we got this guy doing whatever it is this guy's doing. I really have no idea, honestly. Maybe there's one particular hero on the map somewhere. A guy whose, like, ancestors slighted him while he was still alive, and he's riding out to take his vengeance upon their descendants. Alright, Von Karstein is getting in the water. Usually, getting into or out of the water on a beach, not near a settlement, consumes basically all of your movement. But wow, he really had a lot of extra movement there. I guess if you start your turn all the way on the beach, maybe it's not so bad. We're going to be able to pull from the raised dead pool for this army here and the raised dead pool for this army here. This army can definitely reach Mistnar to attack, and Peggy Rains can definitely, at the very least, be a reinforcement. So we should be able to reclaim Mistnar pretty easily on our turn. And hopefully not leave Manfred von Karstein anywhere useful to land. No, we totally are at war with the Stuff Snatchers. Huh, it didn't have the swords on them last time, did it? Oh, Cat Rogers had one of our good talismans, too. And there's going to be a rebellion over here. Well, I mean, whatever. Okay, so, just going down the list. Velostra wipes these guys out trivially. Oh my god, stop running, you huge cowards.
This plunder is for all.
Alright, how dare you declare war on me? Alright, so she can make it across to the Temple of Tlenkan by sea pretty easily, or I might just ignore it and have her head north to deal with the rats up there. Alright, Peggy Rains absolutely has range to just engage on Mistnar herself. Baron von Karlsbrook got all of his units back because bullshit. We're just going to have to fight through them all. So we definitely need to pull melee from the pool for this. Bloated Corpses probably won't be effective against his army because his monsters will just run forward and absorb the hit. And he has Terror Geists, so it doesn't make any sense for us to get bats or anything. How many units of melee do I actually want? We can grab these guys for fighting the monsters. And then is it 3 deckhands, maybe? Honestly, yeah, it might be. We just need melee.
All bones on deck.
Alright, Will Amstrel here is going to grab himself some ranged stuff. Animated Hulks. May as well, right? We actually ended up having a ton of money. I don't know that Morngulls are going to be particularly useful here. They're a little more anti-infantry. I guess they're good against Graveguard, probably. But also rifles. Also, we need all that. That's 14 units. We have 8 spaces left. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Morngulls, and then we'll get some more basic stuff. Gunnery mobs. Honestly, the gunnery mobs are not, like, terrible. They'd be good against the monsters, because the vampire monsters do not really have armor. Yeah, sure, we'll get a couple of those. I don't want to load up with too much melee. Alright, let's get this done. We probably want Peggy to engage. Her army's a lot stronger. With all of its, experience and everything. So I guess the way to do this is to move him up to the edge of the circle. That's as far as it'll let me go. That doesn't look like reinforcement range to me. We're pretty far away.
They won't stop me.
Well, here, we'll roll up here, and if it doesn't give us the reinforcement, we'll encircle and then try again.
They are shark baits.
Okay, no, it is giving it to us, even though it was not drawing the arrow. Alright, well, we certainly don't want to turn this into a lightning strike and not use our reinforcement army. He only got 2 of his Terrorgeists back. He mostly got more infantry, although he did get all of his cavalry.
The tide has come in.
Alright, this should be a lot easier than the balance of power bar is making it look, I think. To be perfectly honest, I think there's a good shot Peggy Rains' army could handle this solo. Okay, well, not a ton of trees. That's nice. And I think on the elevation map, darker is deeper, right? Darker is lower, I mean. So it looks like we could set up anywhere over here and have full vision of them. Of course, I have artillery and they don't, so they have to come to me. Or they could just stand back and let us shoot them with artillery. I'd actually be totally fine with that, if that's what they want to do. And our reinforcements should be coming in from basically, like, dead center behind us, right? Nope, way up at the top of the hill in the only wooded part of the map, sure. Alright, I think we can probably just start deployment with 14. 14's fine. So actually, this terrain is kind of awkward. It is not a uniform height the way that this uniform coloration would suggest. But if we don't start over here where it's terrible, my reinforcements are going to be in some trouble. Well, I mean, we gotta start where it's good. We gotta be in the place that makes sense for us to be. Good luck, reinforcements. I wish you the best. We probably want to be a little bit more tilted than that, right? Alright, these guys will be probably pretty good at catching the cavalry charge, which we know will be coming. I have these guys over here to help receive on this side. Just like in position where they can run forward in each charge. I have a unit of handguns that for some reason did not get selected with all the other units of handguns. Animated Hulks are good there. The Sirens should probably be... yeah, just where they can run through. Right, we have good spellcasting here. Peggy Rains is a very powerful wizard. Okay, so we do have good artillery range into their Graveguard. They're going to have to move up on us pretty quickly here. Definitely want to make sure we're firing this on cooldown. And actually, I'm going to take a hit off the Forbidden Rod here. Alright, so they're going to try to flank around on us. We have the Animated Hulks in a position to catch a little bit. The Animated Hulks, despite being completely in these trees, are not showing up as being hidden, which is a shame. But that's, I mean, that's fine. We'll just bring them back to here. Alright, rifle fire should be commencing presently. Let's not screw around on this. Let's make sure that we are focused. We'll break our lines a little bit. They're going to try to go around the wide way. Now, our units up here are managing... Wow, this is incredible. So, everything up here is forested, except this little tiny bit of terrain where our units are not hidden. So I think these guys are going this way because I think they can actually see my reinforcements, because they are emerging on the one tiny, tiny spot where there aren't trees. I feel like the things about this episode have been stacked very unfairly against us. Alright, so we're going to form up the pole arms to receive that charge, I guess. Probably want to go a little deeper with the formation than that. Do this. Alright. Let's just intercept this Vargulf. That one's just going to die. Over here we have pretty easy kill on these bats, I imagine. Seems like a good time for this. Alright, so we're getting through their Vargulfs pretty quickly. Let's manually target a little bit more here. Skeleton spearmen are not a concern. We want to be firing into the Graveguard. We can fire near some skeleton spearmen, that's fine. So get those Graveguard. This guy could be hunting monsters with his big cannon. I think that's fine. These enemies are... Yeah, I'm going to just let them run around. We have guys in position here to catch the charge if they come right up this way. If they're actually going to go all the way around here, we'll just fall these guys back and have the Colossus move over to stand in between our potential chargers and their target. And yep, indeed, we are getting charged up here because they could see us, because we came out in the one place where that was possible. Well, the good news is we've split off some of the army, and it's going to be pretty easy for us to kill it, I think. And then we can reinforce afterward. And over here, we're getting an unfair fight because we're fighting like 20 to 17 or something, because they broke off a bunch of their units. So this is sort of still working out for us, but that was definitely not their intent. So Cairn Wraiths against my Sirens. Let's see what the stat lines say. Scythe infantry that do magical damage versus our guys who do not do... Oh no, we also do magical damage. 27 attack, 30 weapon strength, with 76 melee defense because of the chant. It will not stay that high. These guys only have 26 attack and 20 defense, but they do have a lot more damage. I think we will win this without necessarily having to involve the gunners, who have kind of a lot of other things to do right now. Like, I think we should be able to shoot this Vargulf, and we definitely should get rid of it if we can. Okay, there goes the gunfire. I was gonna be a little upset that they weren't shooting, but they're getting there. Okay, they don't seem to know what they want, so I'll just continue firing forward into all of the approaching melee. That guy's just about dead. Well done, you guys. Really well done. Let's throw an Invocation of Nahek over here to top off the animated hulks. Try to get the Sirens in it as well. And then just make sure nothing crazy is happening on this front. Polearm guys receive the cavalry charges. They do have a unit of Blood Knights still kind of coming up the hill. And all of the gun units over here need to be shooting at this Terrorgeist. Try to get my surround on the Hex Wraiths. They are ethereal, so we're going to have a hard time killing them, but all we need to do is not die to them, really. Lord here should be able to fight that. And if we can get... If they end up, like, actually making a battle line against us over here. Obviously, we have Peggy Rains' superpowered Wind of Death available, but it kind of looks like we're going to win this on just like the gunnery front. These guys are kind of picking a direction. Are they really running? No, they've stopped. If they were really going, I would move the deckhands, like I said. Taking us a remarkably long time to kill these Fellbats, considering Fellbats are some of the worst melee units in the game. Do I need to specifically focus? Because our gunner's not firing here. Is there a reason for that? No, we definitely have a clear opening on these spears. You know, the reason for that is that guns are cantankerous. It's just like, it's hard to make your gunners do stuff in this game. They definitely are way more damage effective when you give them specific targets, but also they do dumb things when you give them specific targets. Like run forward, in order to be able to shoot better at a unit that they can absolutely already shoot at. Okay, I think we're basically good here. You could probably be shooting at those guys as they approach. You don't really have a specific target. We killed everything large over here, so just fire into the Grave Guard, because shields do not protect you from massive cannonballs. I think this is under control. Alright, over here we have to watch the approach of their melee units. You know, it doesn't really make sense for me to roll my melee forward, I don't think. I think we're actually going to break them pretty badly here. We definitely want to keep throwing out... Oh, I can't throw out another powered invocation. So we're going to lose the animated hulks, probably. They are fighting things with spears. It's not a big surprise. I can just throw up some melee if I don't think I'm going to Wind of Death, which it's looking like I'm not, probably. Throw up some melee to be a distraction over here. Okay, there we go. Okay, and I do believe it is time to start paying attention to what's happening over here. Turns out it's actually going to matter a little bit. So you can start firing into there. We want to grab all of the guns on this side. Focus on the Terrorgeist, the last of their big monsters. Yeah, you're running forward. You guys are receiving a charge. These bats are going to be kind of an annoying thing. I don't know that we really have a big plan for them. We should probably start focusing cannon fire, or the mortar fire over here. You guys are actually doing a great job already. Those zombies will lose to our deckhands, I'm pretty sure, eventually. Okay, yeah, this front's going fine. Sorry about all the pausing. I'm just going to keep zapping back and forth here. Can't help but notice I'm not seeing a lot of gunfire. There we go. A Terrorgeist should not be long for this world. The bats are being a little bit of a problem. Alright, you know, honestly, I'm not sure that's even going to be that helpful. Let's throw our invocation over this way instead. Because of the fact that these guys are so close to death already, I think they're probably going to crumble before the invocation could do much good. Alright. Mongol's engaging with our lord, which is fine. The bats fighting our gunners and losing, which is also very fine. Jump back up here, make sure nothing crazy's happening. The Terrorgeist is still very healthy, because we are not actually attacking it. So, if you guys are not going to attack it, could we maybe... I'm going to have the cannons start, like, aiming down the hill. Just run down the hill. You guys also just run down the hill. We have more than enough stuff devoted to the small number of enemies up there. This cavalry charge is actually 100% going to work for them, which is a shame. Oh no, they're charging bad units instead of our guns. Weird. I'll take that. That's pretty good. I don't know why they would do that. They had rifles just like sitting there, available to them. Alright, how do I want to do this? These guys don't really have a lot to do. I'm going to have them back up first things first. We're probably going to lose some people over here.
Distractions!
I kind of want to throw a wind of... Oh, see, now they're figuring it out. A little bit too late, I think. I kind of want to throw a wind of death over here. It's very expensive, but we really want some magic damage to get through the Hex Wraiths. Like, if I don't overcast it, it doesn't really do that much damage, but it doesn't have to, because units that are ethereal usually don't have very much health as a trade-off for being ethereal and basically getting to cheat the system. Alright, over here we are seeing some crumbling leading to a bunch of my units looking like they're about to receive a big charge here. Don't love that. We're probably going to have to run our hero over here to handle it. Yeah, that Wind of Death didn't really do that much damage. Okay, they are still receiving an awful lot of mortar fire. It could be going worse. And we are getting a lot of good gunshots off. Try to fall back while they fire at your pursuers for you. We need to make some targeting decisions. Why are you facing backwards right now? I'm not sure I understand that play at all. You shoot at this corpse cart. Okay, the monsters are coming down the hill. Hello, Morngulls. Just get through these guys real fast. Alright, who are we specifically targeting down here? Because all these guys have nothing to shoot at anymore. So I need to decide, like, are we... We could roll them up facing this way, actually. And try to just finish deleting these guys. As our melee starts to fail here, we're gonna have to have some kind of plan. And then those Graveguard are just about dead. We probably don't need to be specifically focused on them. We can start shooting at the corpse cart. The corpse cart is large enough that it should be a pretty easy hit over like the two remaining sirens. It's not doing a lot of damage, but it is providing them with an aura that's regenerating their health. A good time for those artillery shells to hit as we are pulling out. Okay, and stuff up here basically going okay. Can't help but notice we still have a lot of units kind of following the Terrorgeist without attacking it in any way, which could stop. You know, you guys could maybe like do something. I'm gonna hit the Forbidden Rod again because an invocation of Nahek would be pretty welcome over here. So we've crashed their morale, something fierce. Okay. I think that ought to be the end of that. We definitely brought more bodies than we needed there, but, like, if you have access to them, right, why not? And hey, no lost units of rifles. Just accumulating XP forever. So, with Baron von Karlsbruck down, and us still having two pretty healthy armies, it should be no problem for us to go after Manfred as well. I don't know if we have the movement to do it this turn. I bet we don't. But he's certainly not going to do any real damage over here. And we got Misnar back. We're going to have to rebuild it, of course, as we always do. But this is the whole reason that it's there, is to slow down approaches from our northeast. I'm kind of surprised at how many kills the Terrorgeists got, actually. I thought we mostly handled them before they got to us. I guess they have breath weapons. Maybe they were firing their breath weapons as they were approaching. I didn't see it happening.
Ours is the sea. Plunder this place.
Yes, occupy my territory. Alright, we have re-secured our province. Gotten some spell shields and whatever. I hate the fact that we have to keep rebuilding this over and over again.
Admiral of the fleet.
Here at level 30, she could become loyal to the end, You know, honestly, it's probably worth taking, right? And do we have... No, we don't have any movement left, because I just took a settlement. I'm going to have him
Get on!
head back to Torcorali.
Voyage on. Do not mock me.
Manfred probably can't land and attack us in the same turn, and actually we're in pretty good shape as it is. But I'm going to raise dead just so that our army's completely full here to make him think twice about it, even if he was considering it. I think she should be fine. Get our public order province back on, because apparently our public order's not good. I mean, the settlements being conquered always makes that true. Who has unassigned skill points? Isabella Anderoft. He's getting a lot of XP from walking around and refilling empty buildings.
Admiral of the fleet.
Alright, so we'll have Twisted Glade next turn, and then honestly, we might disband her army. I'm not sure that she's necessary anymore. She is level 5 now. Oh, we lost our fleet treasure again. Whoever's in the fleet treasure position is always the one who dies. Well, we do need one of those.
Bones on deck.
Alright, Pete over here is in pretty good position now to make some kind of move, but again, we don't know what their stuff actually looks like. I don't know what their position actually is. Oh, you know what? We totally have Jim Androff. Jim Androff is what was supposed to be in his army. The other slot in this army. Well, I think I would rather have him than the Sirens. Although maybe we should have him kill some agents instead. Could you get this guy, maybe? Yeah, pretty good odds. My concern is that if I put him in, if I fire a Siren to put him in the army, that agent just immediately kills him out of the army, right? So...
What is your demand?
do I want to challenge Sildra Tor, or do I want to let go? We know Iron Spike is controlled by the Skaven. I could go and burn Iron Spike pretty easily. Then we're maybe a little bit vulnerable to counterattack, but Mika the Experimenter's army isn't even full. The problem is we don't know how many more armies they have or where they are. Yeah, they definitely have more than one army. That is certain. Alright, I'm going to probably just stay where I am. Fallen Gates doesn't have walls yet. Let's try to get that happening.
Bones on deck.
Okay, so yeah, we moved Will around. Catherine Greer needs to keep moving.
On the double. Move your spineless bags.
Alright, so she'll handle this, and she'll be in position to deal with any other problems that crop up. Like that rebellion.
On deck. Drown them.
Alright, Viola has found us 3,000 gold. And some armor that's fine. Some armor that is totally okay. Lenny Sealegs down here has respawned. I suppose he ought to run up to join O'Bones McDonald. And yeah, it's too jungly. We can't get back to the Awakening this turn, and Luther Harkin will get into it. Ah, that's frustrating. Well, we could start putting together another army down here. We could wait on her, but it's going to be a while. We probably need to just put together another army down here. But I have to say, I do not like our financial position. Part of the problem is that we, as much as we probably need to have two armies defending Ulthuan, we really can't afford to have two armies defending Ulthuan. We're not in a financial position that that allows that. Yeah. Yeah, this sucks. He has to fall back. What we could do... No, I can't. I was going to say we could have him wait in ambush mode somewhere near the blood swamps, and if Luther Harkin comes to reclaim it, then we just smash him and then go after the awakening immediately afterward. But O'Bones MacDonald is a legendary lord with a ship and cannot ambush. His ship is too big to hide in the jungle. I assume we're just, like, carrying it across the backs of a bunch of deckhands. Well, let's just fall back to here. I'm not actually going to go into the settlement because I want the rebellion to happen. We'll fight the rebellion off. That'll set us up for being in a better position in the future. And how expensive is it going to be? Yeah, that's what I remembered, is that it was quite expensive to repair this. Well, it's got to get done. It's providing a tremendous amount of negative approval in this region, having all these buildings damaged. Alright, let's let one more cycle of enemy turns go by. I gotta say, I'm not having the most fun in the world during this, like, putting down 1,000 small problems everywhere part. The part where we're actually making big pushes against enemies and having, like, constant big army, like 40 versus 40 battles, that stuff's cool. This part where I just, like, get nipped at by 1,000 tiny enemies from every direction is less cool. It's a shame there's no mechanic in place for, like... It should be a problem for a faction to be eternally at war with another faction and just completely embarrassed 100% of the time. Like, the Khemri people should be overthrowing their leaders about the thing that is happening on our eastern shore. We keep sending armies over there, and they just keep getting spanked. Like, we're not even really worried about the deaths or whatever, because none of those units were alive anyway, but it's just embarrassing. In the eyes of the rest of the world, you are making us look like chumps. But no, apparently their people are, like, totally cool with let's just die over and over again for no reason. And some of these problems are more permanent than others. Oh yeah, you can attack right away out of the water, huh? Well, I think we are actually going to be okay here. I don't think his army composition is great for fighting us. Not, like, they have some cavalry and some monsters, but no flying monsters. These infantry are not any good against us. We should be okay here. But I'm certainly not going to do the battle right now. So, that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time for us starting the video in exactly the same way that we started this one. And we'll see you then.